Welcome back to GoldSeek TV. I'm here with the president and CEO of Kootenay Silver, Jim McDonald. Thank you for joining us here today to give us an update on some very exciting drill results.
Yeah, Peter, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's been a while since any drilling has occurred at your La Columba project in Mexico, and we got news here in the past weeks of 3 drill results. So how does that look like, and what is taking place at this project, and what is the work plan looking like in this drill program that you're currently engaged in?
Yeah, so Columba, of course, we've had several rounds of drilling there. We've drilled before this program. We've drilled 135 holes in numerous different veins, and 27,000 meters of drilling in total. As you point out, we hadn't been drilling for some time. There's some big milestones met in the last year, and going into this year, in fact, is we had some large payments on that property we had to make to acquire 100%, and we've done that. And once we got that accomplished, we then moved into the next round of drilling. And so we've on this project, just for a refresher, it's a classic high-grade vein system in Mexico, high-grade silver vein system. And what's really interesting about it is it's barely suffered any erosion. So whatever was originally deposited here is still here. And over the last few years of exploration and drilling there, we've come to recognize that this is, we're identifying a new vein system in Mexico. And it's of the scope, 4 kilometers by 3 kilometers of extent on the structures that we see now. And that's of the scope of other districts in Mexico in more recent discoveries that are 100 million ounce size or multiples thereof. So that, combined with the drill results we've gotten to date, give us the confidence that we certainly have that kind of potential. And we think, we're certainly onto a new discovery, and we think it's got that potential or multiples of that. So quite exciting. And
in this drilling program now, you drilled into this D vein. So what is unique or interesting about this specific one? Why are you targeting this vein?
Yeah. So we have several different veins there where we got real good widths and excellent grades. And we had a limited budget for drilling on the next round here. So we went into the D vein because the D vein is got the best widths and grades that we've seen so far. And it's wide open in all directions. So typical of these systems, these epithermal vein systems, is you'll get a couple of your structures. It could be 1, 2, 3 of your vein structures that will host the majority of your ounces. It's very typical. And the D vein looks like it could be one of those veins for us, one of those areas, one of those structures that makes the whole project work. So we had holes, the best holes we've drilled are there so far. Holes like 34 meters of half kilo silver, 29 meters of over 400, I think it was 435 grams per ton, that included a core of nearly 18 meters of 650 grams per ton. So we're stepping off of results like this. So what we're doing is just expanding away and trying to expand the size of this thing with 50 plus meter step out. So that's what we've done. And then we want to follow this up next year with a larger program that will lead us to a maiden resource that we're aiming for at this time next year.
What kind of targets is the company aiming for on a maiden resource from what you're seeing right now? So the investors are interested in what that could translate and look like.
Well, it'd be really great to come out with a maiden resource that's 100 million ounces of silver, but that's pretty rare. So we'd like to see something that's 50, 60 as a maiden resource, and then building towards 100. And we see what we've drilled, the targets we've drilled so far, and the structures that we have drilled, we certainly see that opportunity for 100 million ounces. So the first maiden resource, it'd be nice to see it in that 50-60 million ounce range, which is starting to get the size that you need. And then the 100 million ounce number is just is sort of the magical number everybody likes to see to on a project, of course.
And one thing he mentioned that drilling at the D vein, that could turn into a project maker. So that you're saying that would help grow the potential and turning this into a project into a potential mine in the future. That's what you're looking for, is this sort of concentration in this D vein.
Yeah, well, and it might not be that vein, it might be another one, but it looks like that vein is certainly going to have some size to it for sure. And what I'm saying is that these systems we've got multiple different veins that we've drilled and big stretches of veins that aren't even drilled yet. In these vein systems, you'll have certain veins that hold the bulk of the ounces. And so, yeah, and then those ones make all the other zones that are smaller work. And so the D vein looks like it's one of those. It's got the potential to be one of those kind of veins because of those grades and widths. I mean, real incredible what we're seeing with this drilling right now is it's very constant, consistent, that vein. It's where we predict it to be from the modeling, from the mapping, from the drilling, and we're hitting it right where we think it's going to be. And so that's quite encouraging, given the results that we got to date. And the most recent one was that we have recently put out, the first 3 of this program.
That's an important item that you just mentioned, that you're proving the theory that this vein structure continues to hold its grade, its size, it's continuous, and that's it's not just a hit of a high grade part and nuggety effect or something where then it doesn't fall through. So the drill results are confirming the beliefs that this continues on. So this program is 3 drill holes have been released. You've got another about dozen or so left. Is that all focused on this program on the D vein?
Yeah, that's right. So it'll be 12 to 15 holes by the time we're done. We'll be done by middle of November, so pretty soon. We should have assays back for another release in about a week's time, and all focused on the D vein. And so we've see about 400 meters of strike now that we've tested, a little bit more, and we've tested a little more at depth as well. And so if we continue to hit silver, we're starting to see the volume build, like an important volume. And at surface, we can follow this structure for 1,000 to 1,100 meters. So there's a lot of room to grow here and expand on it even further. So the first step is, okay, let's prove that this thing has some real size potential. As you point out, sometimes you get kind of almost a 1 or 2 hit wonder where you just kind of have a small pocket of grade that doesn't go anywhere. That's not the case in the D vein. We've already hit multiple holes with good grade and good width here, and we're continuing to hit good widths of vein and right exactly where we expect. And the first 3 holes were really good. The 2 are shallower ones, and when you've got the shallower holes, you got the lower grade, because this, as I pointed out, this system's entirely preserved from erosion. So we actually see the very, very top of this system, where at surface in some places you're too high up, you don't even see the silver. You can map your structure, but there's no silver that high. You got to drill down deeper and get it. So as you go deeper, you get into a level around 1,700 meters above sea level. Bang, that's where, as a rule of thumb, you start to hit your good grades and your strong vein. And the first 3 holes demonstrate that, continue to demonstrate that. The 2 shallower holes, we're hitting nice intervals, sort of 3 meters to 4.5 meters of over 300 grams per ton, 340 grams per ton, with a high of about a meter of over 800 grams inside one of those. And then about 50 meters deeper than either one of those two, we got into an interval with 8 meters of 858 grams per ton silver within 13.5 meters of almost 600 grams per ton. So great, just demonstrates that model, what's going on there. It's classic of these vein systems. And they're all step outs, so they're building on the volume that we had before. And that's what we're hoping the remainder of the holes are certainly going to do.
Excellent. Well, that's very exciting. It's great to see that you've consolidated the project this year to 100% ownership, correct now? So you're full control. You're back drilling. You've got a maiden resource coming out. You are sitting on some really high grade hits there. So this is quite an interesting silver project. And I imagine with a rising silver price too now, that if it keeps continuing, we're gonna get a lot more interest, especially in these, you know, not too many silver projects out there in general. So it's quite nice to be sitting on a nice discovery like this. So looking forward to following up on these drill results in the coming weeks and see how that looks, and then follow up into next year as the next program kicks off and we get towards that maiden resource. So Jim, thank you for that update, and looking forward to following up with the next drill results.
Yeah, so are we. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.